Is it on? Is this thing recording? Welcome back to another episode of Is It On? I'm your host, Marques. And today I will be making chicken parmesan. And in front of me, I have my seasons. So we're gonna start off with my paprika. I have my parsley, my garlic powder, my lemon pepper, that's optional. Then I have my main season, my adobo. I have some wet mozzarella cheese, my tomato paste, my eggs, my breadcrumbs, and my flour. So in this episode, I'm only going to show y'all how I do the chicken process part. I'm not going to do the noodles Alfredo part, but I also want to remind you, I also have my oil on because you want your oil to be hot and ready whenever you're going to start frying. So the first thing I'm going to do is season my meat. I have chicken breast. Shout out to Sadesco and shorter term, Damien from the calf. He supplied my mozzarella cheese and my meat for today, so thank you. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to season my meat. I'm going to use my adobo. So we just want to get the front of it. Now, the only reason I only put that much on it is because normally somebody would season the front and back, but I just put enough on the front so when I do have all the season on top, I don't have to go back in and actually add more. We're going to add paprika for color and just a little bit of spice. So we're just gonna add that much. Then we're gonna add my garlic powder. And by the way, when making this, these pieces I have here are like really thin. So it's gonna be like, when I fry it, it's gonna be faster. It's gonna be tender, only because it's flattened. There are different ways you can like pound your chicken or pound your meat. You could take a fork. Somebody told me about the fork method today. I'm gonna use my lemon pepper. And that's it. And then I'm going to just rinse my hands real quick. Now I'm just going to just make sure both sides are basically covered. And this is up to your choice, like I always say. So I just, you can definitely season it, flip it, do it your way. I just do it like this because to me it's a little faster. So now as we have this done, I'm going to put my chicken in my flour. So I rather use a bag. It's less messy. It's less work, in my opinion. So we're just gonna do like this. Only season that I have in my flour is like black pepper or anything. And then I'm just gonna zip this up. After I do this, so like I said before, my oil, I know it's already hot. So it's just ready to get put in. Now I'm just gonna go like this. I'm also gonna use my breadcrumbs. I don't know if I forgot to mention, but I'm gonna use my breadcrumbs. You could go to Walmart for this, or you can make your homemade breadcrumbs. I just rather do it this way because it's faster. So now I'm going to use my egg yolk, and I'm gonna use my egg yolk because it's gonna make the breadcrumbs stick. So I'm just gonna go in here. See, it's covered from front to back. I'm just gonna go here. I use one egg because I'm only making two. And now I'm just gonna go like this. I just wanna make sure everything is covered. And then I'm going to put it in my breadcrumbs. And I'm going to do the same process over for my other piece right here. I would say for this, use gloves. This is my fault, I should have gotten gloves. My hands are clean, so you just wanna make sure it's mixed all the way. So as we can see, it should look like this. Oh my God. This is just the egg yolk. Everybody, that was just the egg yolk from the egg. Now we're just going to, it should look like this. This is breadcrumbs all over it. Now this is ready to fry. So the way you would know your oil is ready is you would test it. So you would take like a piece of your breadcrumb and it should dissolve. If it doesn't dissolve, it's not ready. So I had this oil on for a minute now, and I'm just going to put it inside. So now as that's cooking, I'm gonna just give it like, since that's like a real thin piece, I'm gonna give it like 4 minutes on each side, but I'm still going to stand here and watch it. Just because I say 4 minutes doesn't mean really 4 minutes. It's just depending on how you feel, because some people like their chicken more crispier or more softer. And in a way, we're going to do the same process over here to what I just did. So I'm gonna do it again. So now I'm just gonna make sure, like, even though I put it in the bag, some spaces on the chicken may not be covered in flour. I'm going to put it in flour. So you just see that's cooking really fast. So right now, okay, I'm going to flip it. See, that just happened because I had another object that was like a little bit wet. I tried to dry it, but if you put like anything wet in oil, everything bad is gonna happen. But I kind of dried it down, so it's taken care of. So as that, see how fast that took? That was really fast. We're going to do it to this one. That's almost ready. Oh my God, this is a mess. Everybody, I'm just gonna warn you now, when you're making this, I would say get a bigger bowl. So when this is done, what you're gonna wanna do is take like a little bit like paper towel and just put it on the plate. Only for the oil at the bottom could like soak into the paper towel. So this is really crispy, and this was really fast, and I really want to say this came out really fast because how thin it was. The thinner, the better, the faster. And I feel like even when you're frying any type of chicken, like even when you're frying regular chicken, I noticed that when you're like frying it, the thicker it is, the longer it's like the longer and the lower the heat you would want the pot to be in a way. So as that's going, we're gonna have another pot here going because I do want to show, this is for the tomato sauce part. So I'm just gonna make a sauce so you can like put on top of the chicken so you can eat it with like pasta or anything. So yeah, right now I'm about to start my tomato sauce. My chicken is almost done. I feel like it was only right for me to start my tomato sauce because it's the last thing I have to do now. So as you can take a look, this chicken is basically done. So what you want to do is make sure you have like a paper towel underneath it, or like like a paper towel so the oil could like drain onto that. And right now we're just gonna start just make sure this is off. Right here we're gonna just start my tomato sauce. I'm just gonna put like a little bit of butter at the bottom of this, and then I'm going to use my tomato sauce. I like to use just the sauce. Like I've seen other people use like diced tomatoes, but the sauce just make it more smoother for me. So I'm just going to get a piece of butter. It doesn't matter, like, I'm just gonna have that melt. If you're cooking in the kitchen, if the oil is in your way, you can just like put this in the oven, and it'll cool down. And then this is like when I'm home. Like usually when I'm cooking and I'm done using like a certain pot, I'll put it in the oven so it'll just cool down. I'm just put this in the oven because it's really in my way. Even better. So now I'm just gonna add my tomato sauce, and you can get any brand of tomato sauce, it doesn't really matter. And I'm just gonna use a few. So I'm gonna wait until that get hot. I'm gonna show you how I'm going to season my tomato sauce. Because if you ever ate tomato sauce, you know it got like a acid taste in the back of it. So I normally add like my seasons. I'm going to show y'all. I'm just going to add like my parsley, of course. I don't know, parsley just do something to it for me. I'm gonna add my garlic powder, and then I think cheese fixed every problem, in my opinion. So I'm gonna add cheese. I'm even gonna add some on top of the sauce, and then when I place my chicken, because that's the next step, I'm gonna place my chicken and then I'm gonna add sauce. So right now we're just waiting for this to get hot. Yeah. So let me just turn this up. As that gets hot, we can actually just start to season. So I'm gonna go with my paprika, like I said, for like a little bit of spice and just a little bit for color. Even though this is already red, so the color doesn't really matter anymore, just the spice. I'm gonna add my paprika inside. Then I'm gonna add if you realize, I use a lot of garlic. Add my garlic. On the side of this, you can definitely do pasta. I'm gonna add a little bit of my lemon pepper. And a little bit of my adobo. Now, normally I would add like a little bit of, just a pinch of it, of a little bit of sugar, only because it will balance the odd taste from it. Like the seasons do it, but it just doesn't do it like sugar, if that makes sense. They're gonna add like a little bit of cheese, the favorite part, before I stir it in. And then we're just gonna stir that up. We want this to melt. And we just wanna keep stirring it so it could. So we're just gonna go like this. And the reason I keep stirring it is because I really want the cheese to melt. And I don't want not like any piece to get like burnt. Because I feel like when you burn something as you're cooking, that burnt taste will like affect like your whole dish. Okay, now I'm just gonna add both of the pieces inside. Oh, look how crispy that is. Oh my God, that's golden. Matter of fact, before I add both pieces, I'm actually going to make sure this is smothered in the sauce, and then I'm gonna add the other one. So I know. I really wish I had a spoon with this. Okay. Like I said, everybody, this is like a very messy a dish. So we're gonna add the other piece. And like I said, you can make this with any noodles too. Like I probably would make this with like spaghetti noodles or the penny noodles. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add cheese on top, and then we're gonna see the finished results in a few minutes. We're gonna turn this off. The reason I turned it off, I can still add cheese on top, and the heat from the pot is still gonna cook, like it's still gonna melt the cheese down. So we're just gonna add a little bit of cheese on top. the cheese. And then I'm just gonna add parsley. Now parsley is going to make it look very, like very, what's that word I'm looking for? Now this is like the part where people put this in, like in the oven and give it that, like that melted golden look, but it's still gonna be the same way without the oven because it's already made. It's just the oven is just gonna give it that look, that good baked look. So now we're just waiting for that to melt a little bit more. So that looks, so this is how the finishing product should look. Now, if I would have put this in the oven, okay, it probably would have, like, the cheese would have been melted more, but it's the same results. I just basically fried my meat. I put it in the breadcrumbs. I basically used the tomato sauce and to saute my meat and to like make sure everything is smothered in. I put the parsley on top for the look because I know it's gonna look really, now it looks really presentable. This makes it, looks presentable, and then the cheese on top just makes it even better. I normally just have like the sauce, like the extra sauce that's here. I would just put that with my noodles and then have the meat, fork and knife. And thank everybody for watching this episode of Is It On. Also, I do want to say thanks for everybody that was watching my last episode because that video went good. And make sure y'all like and subscribe and comment one of your favorite meals that you may want to see me make on the show moving forward. And thank you.